Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here for Discovery Days. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and say thank you to our sponsors, the Chickasaw Nation and the Inasmuch Foundation. They make free family fun possible here at the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is our museum. It's located in Midtown here in Oklahoma City. And our mission here at the Oklahoma Hall of Fame is telling Oklahoma's story through its people. And so today for Discovery Day, we've featured Henry C. Hitch Jr. He was also known as Lad Hitch, and he graduated from Guyman High School, and he attended Oklahoma Panhandle State University, which is located all the way up in the Panhandle of Oklahoma, if we have any friends from there. Hitch worked in ranching for most of his life, and he was the director of the University of Oklahoma Research Institute, the Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation, the State Fair Board, the Board of Regents for OSU, and the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. So he was involved with a lot of things in his community, and he gave back to a lot of organizations with his time. But because Mr. Hitch was involved with ranching, we are going to read The Cow Who Climbed a Tree. So let me go ahead and get my camera situated. All right. So, The Cow Who Climbed a Tree by Gemma Marino. Look at that cow. That cow's using a telescope. Wow. The Cow Who Climbed a Tree. Tina was a very curious cow. She had a thirst for discovery. See her using her magnifying glass, discovering away. Her friends don't seem too interested in whatever she's looking at. Her mind was full of wonderful things, all of which her sisters found very silly. So look, she has a rocket ship. She thinks that she wants to go take a rocket ship to the moon. And those are her sisters. And her sisters say, impossible, ridiculous, nonsense. They would say every time she told them her amazing ideas. Her sisters were interested in only one thing, fresh and juicy grass. See them? They're eating their grass there while she's trying to say, hey, look at my rocket. One day, when Tina was exploring the woods, there she is, she decided to try something new. So she sees the squirrel and she's thinking, I'm going to try something new. And she began to climb a tree. Up and up she went. Look at all the vines it looks like. And at the top, Tina couldn't believe her eyes. So there's the owls. You think that's probably what she couldn't believe? Or do you think it was probably the dragon? There she is, hanging on to the dragon's tail. Unlike the fierce dragons she had seen in her books, this one was friendly and vegetarian. So see, dragon's eating some leaves. All afternoon, they talked about wonderful dreams and incredible stories. Tina couldn't wait to tell her sisters about her new friend. So there she is. She's dreaming of flying while the dragon tells a story. But her sisters were not impressed. See them? They can't be bothered. Dragons don't exist. Cows can't climb trees. Impossible. Ridiculous. Nonsense, they said. And with that, they went to bed. See them going up to bed, still just uninterested in what their sister had to say. Poor Tina. But the next morning, Tina was nowhere to be seen. So there they are eating breakfast, and there's no Tina at the table. Her sisters found a note. Gone flying with the dragon of the woods. Tina. Very short and to the point. Well, that was it. Tina's nonsense had gone too far. The sisters decided to go and find her and bring her home. So there they go, marching off to the woods. They look very kind of upset, maybe a little. For the first time, they ventured beyond the farm and into the woods. They never had imagined it would be so beautiful. See all the beautiful trees? There they are, admiring all the beauty in the forest. And then they came across something very strange. Impossible, they said. Looks like the pigs climbing up the tree. Does it say there? Can you read it? It says flying lessons today. But the first cow began to climb, and one after another, up they went. So after seeing the pig go up, they decided to go and take a look themselves. The world beyond the fields was extraordinary. See all the world, all the trees, they can see everything, even a castle in the distance. But where was Tina? Suddenly, the cows looked up. So they still can't find Tina. But it was impossible. It was ridiculous. It was nonsense. But it was true. Tina was flying. And when she asked her sisters to join her, they said something they had never said before. Yes, why not? So there they are. All the sisters are up in the clouds flying with the dragon. And after that, they just couldn't wait to see what was possible. So there they are, all sitting on the branch, admiring the dragon in flight, thinking of what was possible next. And it looks like they listened to Tina's next big idea. So that was it for the cow who climbed a tree. And so that was an awesome story. But we're going to go ahead and get ready for craft time. And we're actually going to be making a cow today, our very own cow who maybe climbs trees, can do whatever you want with your cow. And so we're going to get our craft kits ready and we're going to get our supplies ready. And so we need a paper plate. And if you'll empty out the envelope, the other stuff that we need for today, we need a black piece of paper, a pink piece of paper. We need 2 googly eyes. 2 black circles, and then a black crayon, and a pink circle. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me switch my camera over. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the pink circle, and that's going to serve as our cow's snout. So to attach it to the plate, I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the back of the piece of paper first. So just like that. And then to make sure it sticks a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the plate as well, where I want to stick my cow's snout. Awesome. So that should be enough glue. And if not, you can always add more. And if you don't have paper available, you can always do this with crayons and whatever color you want. But I'm doing pink today. So there we go. There's my cow's snout. But if your cow has a snout, it needs to be able to breathe. So we're going to need to attach some nostrils. And so again, you don't have to use the black pieces of paper. You can use a black crayon or any color crayon. I'm going to go ahead and use these. I'm going to go ahead and, as you see, I'm putting glue on the back of the piece of paper. And I'm going to go ahead and put glue where I want to put the black circle. And I'm going to put it right there. And so I'm going to do the same thing with this other piece. Go ahead and put lots of glue. And then put a little more down here where I'm going to stick it. And there we go. Awesome. So now my cow can breathe out of its nose, but it needs to be able to eat as well as breathe. And so I'm going to go ahead and draw a mouth on here. And so you can see there's a little outline there, and I'm just going to go ahead and use that as my mouth and just kind of trace along there. And that will be my cow's mouth. Awesome. So there's my mouth. And so you can do whatever you want to do for your mouth, whatever makes it look convenient. But now that I have this part done, I'm going to move a little up and I'm going to attach my eyes, and those we have right here. And so very similarly to how I did with the paper, I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of my googly eye. And then I'm going to put some glue down where I want the eye to go, just right there. And then I'm going to put it right down. I'm going to press real hard, make sure it sticks. And if you press down and it pushes in, it should pop right back out. So go ahead and do the same thing. Oh, I was going the wrong way with my glue stick. There we go. Awesome. And so I'm going to put some glue down right here and attach, and I'm going to stick. All righty. So now I have my eyes, my mouth. My cow can sniff, it can smell, can eat, but it needs to be able to hear things. And so with this black piece of paper right here, we're going to actually draw a couple ears on here. So I'm just going to do along the edge right here and just kind of a big ear like that. Kind of the same thing on this side. And I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. And that's okay if you need help with this part. It's important to just do it carefully. Make sure you do it safely. And so I'm going to go ahead and do my other ear. Go ahead and cut this one out. So I don't know if any of our friends have cows, but we see a lot of cows in Oklahoma. So you might have even seen a cow that looked like something like your cow that you finished today. But so this is our ears. But if you've ever seen a cow's ears, they look kind of pink. And that's because they have an inside that is pink. And so I'm going to draw a smaller circle than this. And so I'm going to use that as kind of a trace and guide and make sure it's smaller right here. And just circle there. So that's one. And then I'm going to do the same with the other side. Make sure it can fit inside here. And just circle there. And then just like with the black paper, I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. So go ahead. My scissors are not working properly. There we go. One more, little cut to do until the next step. Alrighty, so I got the inside of my cow's ears now cut out. So using the glue, I'm going to attach the inside of my cow's ears to the outside of my cow's ears. So I'm going to put some glue on the side. I'm going to put down on the black piece of paper. And then I'm going to put some glue on the black piece of paper as well, where I want the little pink piece to go. And I'm going to stick it and make sure it secures. Awesome. So there's one ear done. And so I have one more. And so I'm going to put some glue on this end. And that's going to be the end I put down. So I'm going to put it right here. And there you go. So there I have my cow's ears ready to go. And so here's my cow. And so I'm going to flip mine over. And I'm going to put my ears attached to the back. And so I'm going to put the glue right where I want my ear to go. I'm going to put some ear on the plate and on the ear. And I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to push real, real hard and make sure it stays secure. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to put some glue there. That should be good. And I'm going to put some glue on the front of this. Awesome. And then I'm going to press real, real hard, make sure it sticks. Awesome. I'm going to flip it over. Oh, my cow got a little crooked maybe. Its ears are a little crooked, but that's okay if I want to adjust them a little bit. All I got to do is just slide them over. And there we go. So now maybe slide that one up a little bit. There we go. So that looks a little bit better. Awesome. So this is an all white cow right now. So it needs one more thing. It needs its spots. And we're going to use the black piece of paper. And so there's a couple ways you can go about doing this. The first way you can do kind of like the ears. And you can like draw lines in a spot kind of like that, and then you can cut it out, or you can just cut out little pieces yourself however you want, whatever size you want. For me, I'm going to do some bigger spots on my cow, and I think I'm going to do 2 or 3 spots. I haven't quite decided. You can do any color spots you want. There are brown cows, there are red cows, there are all kinds of different kinds of cows. There are even fluffy cows. So you don't have to do black spots on your cow. I am. And so I'm going to do this piece right here on the cow's face. And so I'm going to put some glue where I want to put the spot. So that's there. And then I'm going to put some glue right here and on the spot on the back. And I'm going to flip it over. Oop. I'm going to put it right there. There's my first spot on my cow. So he's looking a lot more like a cow. And I'm going to do one spot for the middle of his face. And so that's just going to go right down the middle. I'm going to put some glue on it. Right there, that's where it's going to go. And there we go. And I'm going to do one more spot, I think, right over here. So this one I'm just kind of free cutting. I didn't draw a line or anything. Awesome. And so I'm gonna put some glue on the back of it and put some glue where I'm gonna stick it. And there we go. And that is my cow. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch cameras to show y'all the finished product. But here we go. Here's what your cow will look like when it is finished. But thank you so much for joining me here for Discovery Days today. I hope y'all had a great time. And I look forward to seeing y'all next week. Thank you.